Hello friends, family, clients, and unfortunately my children who are going to watch this and give me all kinds of grief for it. But hi kids. We are looking at the market report for May. Today is the first week of May and we're looking at some new stats. The new market report just arrived. And if you're tired of hearing about opinions of what's going on in the local market, here is actual statistics that you can use and apply if you're a home seller or home buyer. Good information for you. Talk specifically about what's here in the report compiled by the RMLS. That's the company through which we list and sell houses. At the end of every month, they take all the cool data, put it into a report so I can share it with you. If you're a home buyer, home seller, here you go. Here's some good stats. One of the main metrics that we look at is available inventory. Here you see it here, running chart month by month. What that is kind of a scale between buyers and sellers. How fast are houses coming on the market versus how fast they're selling. And that's a really important thing for the health of the market for buyers and sellers. So you can see it's ticked up just a bit, available inventory. So what that number is, April through April 2025, we're at 3.1 months of inventory. And basically that means if nothing else ever came on the market, how fast would all the houses be gone? So in 3.1 months, everything would be sold if nothing else came on the market from now on. So that's a pretty good number for sellers. It's not saying that houses are selling super fast. It's basically saying that there's not a whole lot of houses coming on, there's not a whole lot of houses selling, but it kind of evens out, which is a cool thing for sellers. It's a decent time to buy too because of that. So right now it's kind of a balanced market. Every time we see we get these dials, is it a buyer's market or seller's market? In the last 6 months, it's been kind of right down the middle, buyer and seller's market. And this is a good illustration of that stat. So inventory is pretty normal. High inventory is 5 months or more. We're at 3.1 months of inventory. Let's move on. For all you stat nerds like me, here we go. I'm going to go to page, let's go, I'm turning down. I love this one. Okay, this is on page 5. Really cool chart here at the bottom, average and median sale price. So that is basically a chart month by month of the real estate values in Oregon since April 04. And as you can see, really interesting, the average year prices go up in the spring, summer, fall, and then down in the winter. Up in the summer, down in the winter. And as you can see, you can chart this. I wish you could see my little cursor here, but as you go year by year by year, up in the summer, down in the winter, up in the summer, down in the winter, very predictable until we get to about April 2020. And then we get some crazy things that we haven't seen. Dar and I have been doing this for 30 years now. We've never seen juts up and then way back down below and up and way back down below. This is not seasonal at all. This is interest rate issues, that's affordability issues, so crazy fluctuations there in the market. What we are seeing though is, if you can see the last, since October 24 and moving on here, much more kind of normal tracking of the real estate prices. So we think it's that kind of thing. The rates have sort of settled in and we think that thing is behind us here. So we'll see how that goes, but we're expecting kind of to switch into a more normal market with appreciation kind of in the 4 to 6% range that we've seen. Okay, moving down. This is interesting one here. So this is on page number 9. This is the affordability index with the orange graph there. So what this is, it starts with a normal range of 100. 100 is the score at which the normal buyer in Portland Metro can buy the normal house, the average house, with the average salary, with I think it's a 20% down payment, which no one really puts down anymore, but unless you're reselling. But anyway, it's basically saying 100 means the average person can buy the average house. If it gets below that, that means the average person can no longer buy the average house with the average their average salary. And if it gets above that, that's when things boom. That's when the average buyer or even the sub-average buyer can buy the average house and things go crazy. So as you can see, with all the volatility here, 2021, it dipped below 100, and all through 22 and 23 and 24, we've been under 100 index. That means our affordability has been stunting the growth of the market, and that's been creating this incredible, we have a pent-up demand like we've never seen. So many buyers are just waiting for good reasons. They don't want to go out and pay more for a house than they'd have to pay monthly in rent. So they're waiting for rates to come down or their income to go up. And that's holding back the flood. We do believe coming soon, when the rates tick down to 6 and all the pundits say below 6, that's when things are gonna let loose. So we'll see if that happens. So that's the affordability. Right now we're just under 100, but as you can see, since June of 24, we've been creeping up, which is fantastic. We're about to hit the magic number of 100, and I think that will let things loose. Okay, last thing, let's look at page 10 here. This is an awesome area report. So the RMLS breaks down every part of town in the Portland Metro into different numbers. Gresham Troutdale, which is kind of our main area where we live and work, that's area 144. If you go down 1, 2, 3, 4 columns down on the report on the left. And what we're going to look at, you go all the way over to the upright columns to average sale price, percent change, and that's the 12-month change in values. So as you can see, certain parts of town like North Portland, Northeast, Southeast, they're struggling a little bit. People are kind of moving out of those areas and they're coming to the suburbs. So we're doing pretty well in Gresham Troutdale. As of through the end of April 2025, you can see the stat there. We are at 4.4% appreciation. So in theory, in stats, it says your house, if you're in the area 144, is worth 4.4% more than it was 1 year ago. Whether that plays out to a buyer, when you put it on the market, a buyer determines the value, that remains to be seen. But overall, the values of the sales are 4.4% more. So what it's telling us is that Gresham Troutdale, because we're finally getting some industry out here, we're finally getting places to eat. Dar and I always joke about when we moved here 30 years ago, we always kind of envisioned Gresham Troutdale of what it is today and where we could get, and now it is the place that we think is pretty amazing for all the areas of town. And I think the buyers are kind of waking up to that, and they're coming out here and they're buying houses and making our numbers go up. So really good number there. If you're looking to sell your house in Gresham Troutdale, I think it's a perfect time to do that, and the stats point out. I also think, I know it's realtor talk, but I think it's a good time to buy as well, because there's not that competition that's going to be coming where 5 people bid on a house. Right now, you can find a house, you can tour it, you're not rushed most of the time, and you can make a reasonable offer and buy it. And you can sell your house, and your house is worth 4.4% more than it was the year before. Put it out there at a decent price, present it well, market, negotiate well, and we get pretty maximized prices. So really good kind of middle of the market to buy and sell if you're looking to do that. I know that's, there you go, I'm on my soapbox here, but the stats prove that out. Okay, sorry to bore everybody. That's it, kids. I bet you clicked off a long time ago, so maybe I'll sing. You'll never find a love like mine. Okay, see you next month with the next month's stats. We'll see what changes. Hopefully interest rates come down. Do your interest rate lower dance. Let's do it all together. Here it comes. Rates down. It's gonna happen. Okay, guys. Thanks for talking. Thanks for listening. Greg Walsick signing off.